Okay. We just before the start of the first day of questioning of the undercover police officer Carlo Soracchi, who was using the cover name Carlo Neri, infiltrated the Socialist Party, No Platform, the Away Team, numerous anti-fascist groups. He deceived 3 women into intimate sexual relationships. We heard from 2 of them last week, Lindsay and Donna McLean. I'm joined by Dave Smith, the Blacklist Support Group, who was spied on by Carlo Soracchi. What are you expecting to hear?
Well, where do we start?
Right.
Yeah, it's going to be another one of them ones where I think we're all going to be like jaw dropping. Right, for people who don't know, what's he done? You've just already said, he's had intimate sexual relationships with 3 women while he was undercover to bolster his legend while he's there. Spied on trade unionists, anti-racists and anti-fascists. Sent reports about trade unionists that went to the Home Office and was applauded for his work for the Home Office. We can only assume that's been used to blacklisting, because, they consciously all the time talking about this information was used for vetting for certain jobs. So, that's not very, we're expecting to see something on that. He incited a number of anti-fascists who are members of this just sort of wear it with pride. We never had any away team merch back in the day, but now it's turned into a bit of a thing.
Yeah,
obviously.
I feel like the undercover police inquiry has relaunched the away team as a real organisation for the first time.
It's actually a new brand that we're putting out. It's like
The online shop will be available soon.
It's like, if we can milk a couple of quid out of this, we're going to. So incited them to. Carlo Soracchi incited them to firebomb a charity shop, and in his own statement admits the conversation took place, but claims it wasn't him who said it. It was one of the blacklisted workers who was spying on that said it. But if that was what was said at if genuinely that was what was said, why didn't it appear in any of his reports? Because the entire purpose of his deployment is to find out things like, left-wing activists who are going to firebomb places. And look, here's some actual evidence of it, apparently. But that never ever appeared in any of his reports. And he's got reports on everything, he's got reports on taking people on holiday, going to gigs with them, what their family lives about. But the one thing that would actually be quite close to the threshold that we've got to get over, oh no, I didn't bother reporting on that. I mean, literally it's a pack of lies. And then also at the end of last week with Donna McLean, we had of course Rentgate.
Yes.
Hashtag Rentgate, where he basically had a fake rent book that Donna had never seen, and he was claiming £685 a month, presumably from expenses from the Met Police, when Donna said she paid the rent via a bank account and it was 320 quid a month, and the signature of the landlord that's allegedly on the rent book couldn't have possibly been the landlord, because the landlord lives in America and they never ever met him.
I mean, this is like a sign of something we've seen from multiple undercover police, of like defrauding the expense system basically within the unit. It doesn't seem likely that he did it completely off his own back. The impression we get is that they were all bloody at it.
Yeah, and he's also when he was when Lindsay was being interviewed, desperately remembering the right ciphers, when Lindsay was being interviewed last week, one of the questions that was asked about the trip to Venice.
Yes.
Oh, completely unannounced trip to Venice. Well, when you're scamming 700 quid a month at the Met Police, you can do these impromptu trips to Venice.
I mean, to be fair, he did say that the SDS paid for the trip because supposedly it was a Socialist Party delegation to meet violent anarchists in northern Italy, in multiple cities, which obviously didn't happen. There's a huge discrepancy between what Carlo Soracchi is saying in his written statements to the inquiry compared to what's in his reports, and which is completely different from what we've heard from numerous witnesses who've given evidence last week, or 3 witnesses last week, but then other numerous people, including yourself, who have experience of what actually he got up to. It seems very clear that he's completely at war with the truth. we can only hope that some sort of reality kind of intervenes in his questioning over the next 4 days. He's been questioned by David Barr, KC.
Wow. Well,
Yeah.
there we go.
the Premier League of the undercover policing inquiries questioning team. There's so many inconsistencies. It'll be interesting to see which one he chooses to focus on first. I'm sure this morning we'll focus very much on his recruitment, on his training, on the relationships he had with the other undercover officers before he entered the field.
Yeah, in his witness statement, he says that he, during his entire time at the Met Police, he never saw any instances of racism.
No.
And when he was asked in his witness statement about his knowledge of racism, he had a session at Hendon when his initial training for the police. So he's had like a 1-day session on racism, and that's it.
Well, the gold standard, I believe, that's known as the 1-day course in Hendon, which obviously has prevented the entirety of the British police service from ever
being
getting
racist.
Yeah. I mean, we've seen this time and again from undercover officers. This complete unwillingness to recognise the extreme bigotry that existed within the unit. We only have to hear. This contrasts massively from what we've heard from Peter Francis, as well as, actually, to be fair, a few other undercover officers who have admitted to a very racist attitude within the unit, and particular officers being extreme in their racism and regular use of racial slurs within briefings and meetings. Yeah, it's going to be an interesting week. We know that he's here. It's been put, one of the lawyers said that he actually is in the building. He spotted him, so he hasn't done a runner. There's always a concern whenever we get to an undercover officer that they're not actually going to appear. We'll be going in fairly soon. The broadcast will be starting at 10 past 10. Is there anything you'd like to add before we go in?
No, keep tuned. If you're a union rep who's used to doing grievances and disciplinaries, watch David Barr's interviewing skills. He's very good when he's asking questions. Yeah.
There are no restriction orders in place for the broadcast, so you will be able to see the whites of his eyes. Please do tune in. The link to the broadcast is in the description of this video. We're doing videos throughout the day, as we always do. Please help by liking, sharing, telling your friends, subscribing. I'll be posting up regular updates on Twitter as the hearing goes on, and then rejoining for these videos with lots more of these guests. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you all in a bit.
Hopefully some more of them will have the away team t-shirts on.
Yes, yeah, which will be available. We'll put a link to be able to buy those fairly soon. We should do an online shop of all the various merch that's been created off the back of this.
Well, the Wolf of Truth is going to be here today as well. So I'm not sure you can buy. I'm not sure. I think the Wolf of Truth is priceless.
Yeah, I don't think any of us can afford that. Oh, we had one comment. Just repeat. Okay, thanks for joining us. We'll see you all again in a bit. Bye for now.
Peace.